Parents. The obligation to maintain parents arises out of the parent-child relationship. Though it was only son who was liable to maintain his parents during earlier times, Section 20 of the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act 1956 has now prescribed the obligation upon son and daughter on equal terms. According to the section, the children are under an obligation to maintain their aged or infirm parents if they are unable to maintain themselves out of their own earnings and other property. One of the peculiar features is mentioned under explanation attached to the section, which includes a childless stepmother under the definition of parent, though a childless stepfather is still out of the purview of the section. It is important to note here that a more logical step has been taken in the form of the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007 as a legislative effort to provide more effective provisions for the maintenance and welfare provisions of parents and senior citizens. This law is secular and is applicable on everyone irrespective of his or her religion. Under the Act, the parents, whether biological, adoptive and stepmothers and fathers, whether senior citizens or not, who are unable to maintain themselves through their own earnings or out of their own property, may apply for maintenance from their children, whether son, daughter, grandson and granddaughter, but it does not include a minor. Dependents. Sections 21 and 22 of the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act 1956 deal with maintenance of dependents of a deceased Hindu. Section 21 enlists the relatives of the deceased as dependents, which includes: number 1, his or her father; number 2, his or her mother; number 3, his widow, so long as she does not remarry; number 4, his or her son or the son of his predeceased son or the son of predeceased son of his predeceased son, so long as he is a minor, provided and to the extent that he is unable to obtain maintenance in the case of a grandson from his father's or mother's estate, and in the case of a great-grandson from the estate of his father or mother or father's father or father's mother. Fifth, his or her unmarried daughter or the unmarried daughter of his predeceased son or the unmarried daughter of a predeceased son of his predeceased son, so long as she remains unmarried, provided and to the extent that she is unable to obtain maintenance. In the case of a granddaughter from her father's or mother's estate, and in the case of great-granddaughter from the estate of her father or mother or father's father or father's mother. Sixth, his widowed daughter, provided and to the extent that she is unable to obtain maintenance from the estate of her husband or from her son or daughter, if any, or his or her estate, or from her father-in-law or his father or the estate of either of them. Seventh, any widow of his son or of a son of his predeceased son, so long as she does not remarry, provided and to the extent that she is unable to obtain maintenance from her husband's estate or from her son or daughter, if any, or his or her estate, or in the case of a grandson's widow, also from her father-in-law's estate. Eighth, his or her minor illegitimate son, so long as he remains a minor. Ninth, his or her illegitimate daughter, so long as she remains unmarried. Section 22 provides that the heirs of a deceased Hindu will maintain the dependent out of the estate inherited by them from the deceased, if such dependent has not obtained any share out of the estate of the deceased, either by way of testamentary or intestate succession. The liability of each person under this section shall be proportional to the value of the share or part of the estate taken by him or her. The dependent is taken out of the liability under this section and needs not to contribute to the maintenance of others if by doing so his or her share will become less than what would have been awarded to him or her by way of maintenance.